Hey everyone, welcome back to the official new format of the channel we will be moving forward to. I know it's been a while since I uploaded anything toy related in a while or uploaded a proper review in a sense. Moving forward, we will be talking about the toys as a whole, not individually, but we will talk about it in more podcast style formula. And we're going to start off with the newest season that is completed, being the 45th Super Sentai Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. God, that name is a tongue twister for me for some reason. But as a whole, we pretty much have all the toys. I do have the Air Ride-On from Dawn Brothers. I don't count that as part of Zenkaiger. That's part of Dawn Brothers. Once Dawn Brothers is complete, you'll see him in here. But yeah, so the toys are very different this time around compared to past seasons. Even if you look at Kira Major, Ryu Soldier, Lupat, they're different as we've never seen toys like this, and their interactability, their compatibility together is different from what we've seen as well, because in past seasons they either are all separate mechas that never combine, or we get some seasons that have some combining mechs. Bokenger is an example of some combining, some not combining. Zekaiger is another great example, as there's some combinations, but not everything combines together. Where this is another hodgepodge of some do, some don't, which is kind of cool if you think about it. But also, like, this isn't my favorite season of toys. I do think the mechs do look interesting, especially Zenkaiger becoming a whole mech himself with Super Zenkaiger becoming the mech, and Super 2 Kaiser becoming a little chibi dude to match his brothers, which I do appreciate. We'll talk about him next. We're going to go in kind of order how the toys came out. So we'll talk about Zenkaiger Joran Gaon. So we'll talk about him first. I'll move these guys off to the side so we can focus more on Joran and Gaon. So let me move these guys over a little bit. Sorry here. Almost. There we go. So this was our first DX mech of the year, and I think these mechs are actually really cool. I think this is a great starting mech for the season, as individually they look cool, and combined they look cool. I will say with our 4 base mechs, Mecha, Joran, Gaon, Vroom, and Majin, I think they're great how, as individual toys, you get different modes of play. You have your base ranger mode, and they also transform into animal modes. So we'll kind of talk about that in a minute, but these are pretty simple figures. They do look pretty interesting, I will say that for sure. I think my favorite one out of all of them is Joran, as I think he just looks more appealing to me. Gaon is not bad at all. So I think they're pretty cool as a set, especially if you actually don't have this one. I will say this, I know it's a lot of topic. There is a die-cast metal version that has some extra pieces to fix the feet to make them look more proportionate to the show. I haven't decided I'm going to get that or not. I'm not that big of a fan of Zenkaiger Joran Gaon, but hey, if I see it cheap one day, hey, I might be doing a video on that as something else. But as a whole, I think these figures are great. You do get a good amount of playability with just these two, as you have the regular ranger modes. They also do transform into animal modes. For Gaon, we'll do him first. He pretty much is something we can see right off the bat. Lion, again, he is based off of Gao Ranger, which is Power Rangers Wild Force here in the US. And it's kind of a personal favorite of mine. I wish it was red, but hey, he's a scrawny lion creature. Again, they don't look great. I think that's the biggest complaint I'll have with these 2 sets of Zenkaiger Joran Gaon and Vromajin. But hey, that's okay. You have different ways to display them. It's your choice. Display however you wish. You like these modes? Hey, more power to you. Duran, suffers a little bit more, which kind of sucks. He is a little bit more involved when it comes to transforming him. I think my only problem why I don't like this one as much is head stays out the entire time, which I understand why, because he houses electronics. Trying to remember how to transform him, because again, it's weird, but at least there is storage for all of his accessories. Same with, they pretty much all have storage for their accessories, which is, you know, pretty great. And again, they look pretty good together. They're different from each other, especially considering that the zenkaiger's Gaon, Furum, Majin, and Juren, they can just become big, which is actually kind of cool and different. It's similar to Ultraman if you think about it. Like, I like that kind of, I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, but I like the little call to Ultraman. Especially when you think about it with Super Zenkaiger, he just grows big in this suit. It's going to be interesting to see how these toys fare in the aftermarket as the show ends. But again, I think these secondary modes are pretty cool. We don't get a lot of triple changers anymore in Super Sentai, and this is one of the few ones. The last triple changer I can think of that we actually got would be, and when I mean triple changer, usually like vehicle, animal, humanoid, Megazord combined. The Turbo Rescue Megazord, or VRV, Robo from Car Ranger, or Power Rangers Turbo, however you wish to look at it that way. And I want more mechs like that. That's why I'm kind of interested to see what Dawn Brothers is going to do, especially with the alters, and then the upcoming mech that comes out in May, DX Onitajin, I think it's called. I do have that pre-ordered, so that will be out relatively shortly once I have it. So around May, you'll see, I might talk about Dawn Brothers about that point, because I'll have a couple things from it. Well, let's move forward to Zenkaiyo. Zenkaiyo Juron Gaon. So I'm going to do this real quick. I do have the pull tabs to save the batteries. So I'll set that off the side. It's a way to save batteries if you have the watch batteries. Keep the little pull tabs, put them in, and it'll save the batteries. So we'll start transforming Gaon first, which is pretty simple. Let's take that off, fold this, boom, lift around, make sure you fold the arms the proper way, kind of like this, and then split them in half, and you're going to fold down the leg, and you can put this on here or leave it to the side for a moment. And we have half a Megazord, which is one of the reasons why I kind of do like this season. The gimmick is different, being half and half. I do wish they added more to it. But hey, that's okay. And now we're running into the noise, which I'll shut up for this part, as Joran's transformation is very similar to Gaon's. But yeah, we'll get there. So I usually will just wait to transform everything until the very end of it all. So we'll flip it and the noises will start. I do like the standby noise on this, and it does not stop until you fully close it together. I will wait because it does speed up. Okay, yep. Because I do like it when it speeds up. It's one of my favorite sounds. Also, you can do that for fun. And here is zenkaiger Shogun. And again, this is probably one of my more favorite mechs out of all of these, if I'm being honest. The rest don't hit the spot compared to other seasons. But hey, that's okay. We have a great mech here, and if this is the only one you want, that's the only one you have to get. You do get some cool playability if you do get some other ones, but hey, that's okay. But yeah, the articulation is your standard Megazord, Super Sentai, Robo articulation. You do technically have knees, but they're not going to be useful. If I remember, there might be finisher. Not what I wanted to do. I guess I could point out that's probably one of my problems with these figures, especially the half and half. The clips aren't super strong, so they pull apart really easily, which is an annoyance. I wish they clipped together better or had something in the back to completely connect them so they don't just fall apart. But I think there's a finisher if I remember correctly. And that's all it does. There's not much to these mechs. They're pretty simple, but they look cool, especially this one. The half and half looks great, and I think zekaiger is probably one of the best ones to start off with, as it's symmetrical for the most part compared to Varum Magino. Yeah, again, I think it's a great mech. So who's ready for Varum and Magino? That was actually the last mech I got in my collection because I just never got around to getting Varum and Magino. Because again, I'm not a big fan of this one. It's probably the weakest of all of these mechs, in all honesty. Again, if you couldn't tell, I forgot to mention this. Like I said, Gowon is Gaoranger / Wild Force. Joran is Metamorphin Season 1 and Zyuranger. Majin is Mystic Force Majiranger. Varum is Bokenger Operation Overdrive. And again, I have no problem with. I kind of wish they did different seasons that weren't so close together. I kind of wish they made it every 5, so whatever the 5th Sentai was, I can't remember off the bat. Make them one of the Rangers. I don't know. It was just something they could have done, but I understand why they didn't, because doing a gimmick like this, what's going to be more eye-catching, something more recent, another anniversary, or just popular seasons. Because you gotta think, Bokenger was anniversary, that was our 30th. Gaoranger is our 25th. Zyuranger is our 16th season. Zyuranger is our 29th. It's interesting to see. But yeah, Varum and Majin, again, pretty basic. I think Varum honestly looks better than Majin. Majin suffers a lot because of the transformation. Because again, they're all triple changers, which others suffer more than others. I think Varum is the only one that actually looks decent all the way through. Majin really suffers all the way through. Because Joran and Gowon, they're okay. They both have good robot modes, great Megazord mode, not great alt modes. All 3 look good for me on here. All 3 look terrible on me here, which kind of sucks, but hey, what can you do? So we'll go ahead and transform these guys. We'll start with Varum, being our truck boy. And again, the transformation on these ones are a little bit more difficult than other seasons. Again, Varum is just different on how it handles it. And there's room. I mean, it doesn't look great, but it's better than what you think it could have been. It rolls decently. I think that's actually our only properly rolling mech this season. Yeah, it's weird because, like, and this is going to be off tangent here because, again, I'm just rambling for these videos. I kind of wish they had more of a consistent theme. At least with Zekaiger, I give them credit. There was a theme with the main mech and the Six Ranger mech, and just being the auxiliary mechs being power-ups more than anything for them. Where they are the seasons, which again, the whole point of zenkaiger is they are the embodiment of Super Sentai, is kind of how I've looked at the season. Now we get to the fun one of Majima. Because this one I get confused on a ton, sadly. I'm already getting confused. I just gotta remember how to fully switch it over. Yep. Come on. And plus, like, the rail system for Majima and Verum, to me, just does not work that great as it should. And that's my big problem with this mech specifically. There we go. Again, it's too many parts forming. It can be an annoyance for me sometimes. I don't mind it all the time, but when it's just so much you have to do for several modes, again, let it be the accessories and not a whole bunch of parts. And here we have Machine in the Dragon mode, which it looks okay. It's just weird, is all. I get it. Some people like it, some people hate it. And we can go on to transforming them now, which is going to be another fun project. I'm going to go ahead and get Verum started, since I remember his easiest for the most part. Pre-assembled him. Get him pre-assembled at least. Have everything on board for that. And we move on to Majin. Hers, again, a lot more parts come off. So, rotate down, put that down. So, attach the wings. Like so. And get the big club. Alright. And now we shall begin Verum Majima. And here we have this thing, which again I think really suffers because they're so different from each other. Like again, they match the heads to the base that they could with antennas instead of horns. Again, it looks okay. Again, the colors are nice. It's just like, it's so asymmetrical. Like, again, I get that's what Geron Gaon, but this one just makes it more egregious. It's okay. It's not the best one. This is why this is the last one I got, because don't care for it. Next, though, we will be combining these two. They do combine. It's more just swapping. So take that off. And we'll start off with Geron Magina. So slide his wing on now, because he gets that. Also take off Vadrum's tires, because Gaon will need those. Close the heads. And I'm not going to go the whole standby. Just and again, this is probably a better combination, as the pink and the red actually match together. They don't look too bad. It's just the head is what's weird, half black, half white. I get it. It's not supposed to be an official combination. But hey, it's not too bad, luckily. Like, you can get some enjoyment out of it. It's okay. Next, we have Vadrum Gaon. And here we go. Again, like, these mechs aren't bad. Like, for 2 base mechs, you do get a good amount of play value. So if you're debating on getting any of the zenkaiger stuff, I will say at least get these 2, because you get some great playability. And they do look good, depending on how you display them. I think they look, actually, these mechs actually look pretty decent. I like the blue and yellow, the pink and red look good. It's different. And again, I don't mind these mechs at all. I think they're solid. Again, Vadrum Magin has problems, but overall, you can enjoy all these mechs, no problem. So that's how I feel about the Zenkaios. So I'll move them over. And we're not talking about that yet, but we will be talking about Tsukayo. With Riki and Katana. This is our 6th Ranger, Zenkaiger, and I will say Zenkaiger is very weird. It's an R Gold Ranger. It's a Gokai Gold. I have small problems with Zenkaiger. Like, I do generally like the suit. I think it looks cool, but as part of, you know, Zenkaiger, it feels out of place. It really does. Like, at least Zenkaiger makes sense. To me, at least. And the mech is, it's weird. Because Zenkaiger has the gimmick of form changing between Gokaiger, Shinkenger, and O-Ranger. Which, hey, you do get this in the toy. Which is cool. It does have a lot of play value, as like there's 6 modes. Again, you have your airship mode, cannon mode, which I had in recently. I'm not going to put it all into cannon mode. You do have separate vehicle modes for Katana and Riki. I'll do that. It's pretty simple to get these guys all set up. Ricky gets the motorcycle thingy. Katanader gets an airship, like so. And that's pretty much, again, it's cool. There's a good amount of playability and display ability for these mechs, and especially Zenkaiger, especially since you can do it this way. You could do the cannon, airship mode, and then you have two Megazord modes, mecha mode. So we'll start with that. We'll start with Zenkaiger Katanar. So let's put these guys off and we'll get them all prepped. I'm just going to go ahead and fall down the legs to make it easier. We will take Ricky. Closes. No, don't close his eyes. Attach him like here. Flip this down. Attached the sword. The cannon will go on the back. That it doesn't really sit well. Sometimes if it's bugging me, I'm just going to attach it to the cannon, the arm, which I actually don't mind one bit. I think it adds more to it. Hey, display it how you wish. And then we got the little gimmick with this. Pull out the tongue. Going to plug in Katana. He will clip in. Okay. And this will just go on the back for now. Okay. And then all you do from here is turn the little dial. It did not work. Let's try that again. There we go. And let's close these. Alright, second time to shot. There we go. And just lift that, close this, raise up, and Zenkaiger Katanar. What? I'm just putting this on the side. I don't feel like fighting one. Zenkaiger Katanar is okay to me. I think it's cool that it's a Shinkenger homage. It looks decent. Again, it's gold. It's our Gold Ranger, like we get pretty much almost every year now, or our Silver Ranger. But overall, Zenkaiger Katanar is okay. It's not my favorite of the two forms. I actually prefer Ricky. And so we'll get into the next. For Ricky, all you have to do is really just rotate. Take that off, put that down. I'm not going to do the whole gimmick again. There's no point. You're going to take Katanar, attach the cannon, like so. Go ways. Boom, there you go. This will go on the back, that's going to the side. You're going to put Ricky's eyes down, and you fold out the face. Yep. And here we have Zenkaiger Ricky, or the O-Ranger. I prefer this one, honestly. I do like to raise the arm, because it just looks better for both of them if both of them have that arm up, instead of just, you know, giant hand. I get it, but that looks better to me. But here you have Zenkaiger. It's a very simple mech. There's not playability with the first two mechs, sadly. That's kind of an annoying thing. Like, not everything is compatibility, and there's just such limited, like, it's so limited, and especially with how they present it in the show, that Zenkaiger stole the powers from Kaito's mother and father. I don't know. I wish they did something different, but I get why they wanted to do it this way. It's Zenkaiger, two mechs. So, Zenkaiger. I like it. I think most people do. It's definitely a standout different. It's definitely a standout mech, especially for Six Rangers when you think about it. So we'll put Katanar over here since we're done with him. Or Zenkaiger, I should say. Next is Super Zenkaiger and Super Zenkaiger. I'm not a big fan of this. I think it makes sense why, but the fact that we get another Zyuranger homage in the same season. I'm sick of Zyuranger. I'm sick of Mighty Morphin Season 1. Get away from it. I don't want any more of it. But I have it anyways. Again, it's just basically their super forms together, minus Zenkaiger's. This is his mech super mode, which pays homage to Q-Rex, Time Force, Time Ranger, Time Fire. Again, it's a simple mech, and again, it's cool what you can do combining these two, which we'll get into now, since there's not too much, but there's a good amount you can do with them. So we'll start with their combined modes, and then what they do with others. So I'll go ahead and start with Zekaiger, fold everything up, twist, just kind of almost strip them down for the most part. Fold these up, slide the tail in. You just want to make him look like a dinosaur. And again, I recently just got the Q-Rex too, so it's kind of cool to see this form like this. A lot of the pieces seem loose on this, especially the chest piece just comes off too easily. I don't know, this one just feels the cheapest out of all of them in all honesty, and it kind of sucks. So he's pretty much done. You just rip off the head of Zekaiger, shove Zekaiger on the back. There's pegs on his hands, so I want you to clip him onto the back, and you just plug in the head, open your mouth, and here we have Zenkaiger. I forget his actual name. It shows how much I usually remember the thing. It looks cool when they're using this this combination to fight off everything. It looks like the Q-Rex from Time Force. I just wish it didn't have so much green and just like Mighty Morphin. Like, I'm sick of Mighty Morphin. At least it's Time Ranger themed. But yeah, it's a base thing. So if you just were to get this on its own, this is all we would do. Which again, on its own, is not bad. I think this is a cool looking thing to have on the shelf. You just, the head I wish was a little bit bigger, or at least they painted a little bit more on the head to make it brighter. But hey, that's okay. Now, he does combine with pretty much all the mechs for the most part. Zekaiger is different from how both Zenkaios combine with him. So we'll start with Zekaiger since it's the easiest of them. All you have to do is rip the head off, rip the chest piece off, take the tail. I'm just standing up so it's easier. Take the Zekaiger off and shove him to the side for a second. And for Zekaiger, you're going to basically transform him for the most part back into Zekaiger Kutuner, but not putting Zekaiger Kutuner actually in. So he's done here. You can attach this if you want. We're going to attach Ricky, put the sword back in. I'm not going to do the whole gimmick of putting the head in just yet. So we'll just do it halfway, just stick them in there for now. We're going to take the chest piece off. You're going to take the T-Rex head, split it open, curve it, and you're just going to wedge it in. There you go. Next, put that aside. Next, you're going to take the spear, the tail. You're going to attach the main chest piece right here. Take the Kutuner, Zekaiger Kutuner logo, stick it there. And here we have Super Zekaiger. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, I mean, it's some. Oh, turn the head. The head makes it, the head makes it look better if you haven't seen it. But yeah, that's all that this set does with 2KO. It's simple. At least it looks cool. I'm not going to complain about that. It just kind of sucks, like, if you want to display just Super zenkaiger and Super 2KO, you really can't, because 2KO is going to be missing the chest piece, and that is kind of, it makes the look, because if you just take this off, I mean, it's okay, but it's just part of the whole thing. So I'll put them back over here. Actually, I'll put them behind here. So next we're going to prep zenkaiger. You're basically going to kind of revert him back for the most part, but fold the fingers just straight as that curved up or back. Take the guns off. There is a special piece that I cannot find a place to put it. This is for combinations with Varum and Joran. So from here, you're going to come back on the leg. One of the feet will come off. Going to rotate legs like so. And take this arm off. As you rotate this chest, the arm can move as well. Plug that in. Take the other arm, plug it onto the back of that one. And take one of the cannons, shove it on the very last shoulder port. And this is your half of Super Zenkaiger. It actually stands on pretty well. And these three pieces are meant for Joran. I believe Varum does not use the foot, if I remember correctly. So we're going to set you here for now. And we'll start off with the good one being zenkaiger. And there's noises for both of them. So let me take his pieces off, prep him before we plug it all in. Where the wing plugged in, this piece will as well. And plug that there. And the feet don't really stay on too well, sadly. And you don't have to keep the weapons on. I do just for storage sake. And here we go. And here's this form, and it looks pretty bad if I'm all honest, just because the proportions are so off on this figure. It does not work that well for me. It's the leg, in all honesty, that's really screwing it up. But hey, what else can you do? It looks okay. I get what they're trying to go for. It's mainly CGI from what I remember in the show. It's like all CGI, which, I mean, if they made it a more practical suit, I think it would look better, because they can actually even out and make it more show accurate as it should be instead of the CGI, which they kept it like how it looks in the toy. So after that, we'll set him there, take off the gun, and we're going to take Varum. Plug his gun back in. Yeah, I don't think, let me see, because I never really paid attention to the instructions when no. So you can't attach the foot, which is weird, but hey, what can you do? You can, though, reattach it to the back of the foot. So, in case you don't want it on Joran, or if you have a display as Varum. And again, just attach this. Oh no, it doesn't attach. Never mind. And we'll just go ahead and combine them. that's pretty much it for all these base mechs. Again, I'm not going to bother transforming them. Zekaiger and Super Sentai are off to the side officially as of now, since they don't do anything else further. We'll leave these guys as is because we will need them parts formed. So we'll start with the zenkaiger cannon. I think, if I remember what it's called, Eagle. The name is confusing for me. Some names I don't remember too well, so bear with me. But the final mech, the final weapon for zenkaiger. So before I take the batteries out, because I believe it starts in the cannon mode, there is a blue lever here. You can take this part off and shove it to the side so it's out of the way and isn't bothering you. And here's the cannon. It's actually just in size. I have big hands. My hand can fit on it for the most part. Nice weight. The thing is cool. I think if you have collected at least the 2 main mechs of zenkaiger, get this. At least it'll make it worth it. And plus it's fun on its own. So we're going to take the tab out. There's her name. It does have lights back here. Can't see that so well. But yeah, like you have the sticker of all the past 45 Sentais from zenkaiger all the way to Go Ranger. Not what I wanted to do. There we go. But yeah, you have the stickers all the way to Aqua Red, or not Aqua Red. Go Rangers, first Red Rangers, but basically from 1975 to what is currently today. You have all of the Red Rangers on there, which look great. I think it's cool. And you do different attacks. I'm not going to go through all of them since it just says a different thing relating to the theme as you turn the style. Again, it pretty much goes through the different themes. Like, just rotate it once or twice to just do a theme. If do it multiple times like you saw me doing before, because I forget how this thing works because I don't play with it too much on its own. It's not... I'm not big into roleplay weapons a lot of the time. But hey, what else can you do? So we're going to go ahead and go back to the Eagle mode. Touch that. we're just gonna go here for now. The jet mode, the eagle mode, doesn't have much to it. I wish it was its own robot instead of a cannon, or at least cannon robot. I don't know. On its own, like this, if you were to get this on its own, it's not worth it unless you collect just the roleplay weapons. Then hey, you got a cool roleplay weapon. But if you don't collect roleplay weapons like me, why would you get this? For the big final mech. And it's a lot of work. So we're going to get him prepped. So we're going to just kind of rip almost everything off of him. Lift these up. Sorry about that. And we're all set to go for him. So we're going to start with Majin. We're going to take her wing off, set that to the side, set that to the side, take her staff that side. And from here, we're leaving that as is. We will take off her arm, though. It does come apart. Like so. It does not come off the easiest. And then we take this one with the extra bits right here. And just going to plug it in like so. So it's like this, and then you're just going to slide in the dragon head like so, and you can reconnect them to make sure it's stable connection. Also doing this because that is part of it, help make it more stable. And this is all you do with Majin. And we're also going to do the same thing to Varum. I want to take the other piece, take off his arm, leave that piece up, attach this like here. Again, this is why these joints were different compared to Juran and Gollum. Like that. Yes, it's weird to remember how this thing goes. So from here we can take Eagle and attach him like so, yes, like this. And there we have half of it going. Again, it's a big thing. So set that there. Next we'll look on Juran, and Gollum. We're basically going to revert him back for the most part into lion mode, but you're also going to take off his legs like so. And you're going to leave the arm like that. So take him back over, attach this here, this comes down, this goes here. And since we're here, you also will take the wings, and since we're halfway, make it quicker, like so. We have Joran. Fold him back up, same as Joran. Try to take the legs off. So, take him back over. Just do the same thing. Then attach the wing again. We're not done just yet. I'm gonna take him over here in a second. We have all these extra pieces from them, and it makes a weird staff that I don't really care for at all. It's not that great, in all honesty. Doesn't really connect super well is the bigger problem. Just, hey, we have all these pieces. Where the dragon head, where Majin's arm is, it'll just slide in. There's a peg for it. There we go. Alright, and we'll go into the final mode. Face a bit closer. Oh, yep, you gotta rotate the thing. And you get this big giant thing, which I think is a really cool final mech for the most part. I think, hey, it uses almost everything we got besides kikai and Super Sentai, which is perfectly fine. It's understandable why. But hey, what can you do? We get a big cluster at the end of the season, which we haven't got a proper one in a while. I wish we would get a nice cluster again, like similar to Shinkenger, Gowanger. I like the big cluster mechs that use almost everything. But I think as a whole, this season is something different to look at. I enjoy it a lot myself. I think there's problems with it, but overall there's an enjoyment to the season, especially if really you don't even have to collect 2 out of the 5 mechs, really. You can just really collect 3 and build this thing and call it a day, and you have basically an embodiment of Super Sentai as a whole, which there's no problem with. Overall, the season's okay. I will say, if you like it, collect it. If you don't, hey, don't bother. It's okay. It's not for everyone. It doesn't have to be. And that's going to end it for today. I'll be back with Kid or Major next. Have a good one.